Motorsport UK is back at 2:35 this morning here on ITV1. Before that, though, it's Cybernet.
Hello, you're watching Cybernet with me, Steve Truitt. Prepare for a fantastic battle. Race some tiny cars, get scared by an alien, and chase after the bad guys. It's out of this world. It's Cybernet. Okay, you're on top of the world driving the coolest cars around. But even the owner of a giant car manufacturing company could use a little help. Luckily, Cybernet is here to lend a hand. So grab a pen and jot down this cheat for Apex on the Xbox. In Dream Mode, type in the word World as your brand name. That's W-O-R-L-and-D. Consider this an all-access pass to every track and circuit this game has to offer. That's right, now you're able to race anyone, anywhere, at any time. We can't think of a more appropriate time-saving cheat for the busy executive who has everything. Enjoy. On your mark, get set, go! Proving that fans simply can't get enough action on the Speedway, the latest entry in contention for video game street supremacy has arrived. Buckle up for one of the most insane races around with London Racer World Challenge for the PC and PlayStation 2. The game's featured race is the famous Cannonball Run, a more than 2,800-mile race where the driver must not only battle his rivals, but the elements and the local law as well. So always keep an eye on the rearview mirror. Participants come from all over the world to enter this contest, making for one of the most eclectic collections of cars in racing history. You'll be able to choose from over 23 different vehicles in the automobile menu, and the lists of other options are almost as long as the Cannonball Run itself. For instance, there are 76 different tracks in over 16 world-famous cities. And you'll have the option of driving the whole run from start to finish. You'll crash through roadblocks, cut off your opponents, and even try to outrun the police. There's even room to pull off a few crazy stunts. Sadly, a jittery frame rate slows London Racer World Challenge to a crawl. While the concept of the Cannonball Run is a great one, it matters little if you're not able to master total control of your car. We wish the developers took the time to make this game all it could have been. As it is, it's an absolute wreck. Being shrunk down to size is a term best used for console games brought to the GBA. But in this instance, smaller is definitely bigger in fun. We move on now from those big cars in London to those little devils in Smash Cars for the PlayStation 2. While this isn't the first radio-controlled car driving title on the PS2, it is easily the best. You'll pick from 4 different cars at the beginning and unlock 9 others throughout the game. Each one has its own strengths, like increased speed or endurance, and can be customized with upgradable tires and paint jobs. Controlling these miniature motors is a breeze thanks to a straightforward control scheme. To accelerate, simply hit the X button. What's cool, though, is that it's pressure sensitive, so the harder you push, the faster you go. A word of warning, however, these cars do not drive like real cars. Rather, they move like the radio control cars they portray. That is until you make use of the turbo and jump buttons, which allow these cars to fly. It's the over-the-top zany tracks that make this title a blast. Here you'll race in such odd locales as the Russian military base and even the mysterious Area 51 in Nevada. These tracks are riddled with obstacles from junk in the road to a pesky dog to soldiers using your car as target practice. And what would a four-wheeled game be in this day and age without an extreme aspect? That's right, performing wild tricks will earn you cash, which can be used to enter more races or buy necessary upgrades. The multiplayer mode adds hours of fun to Smash Cars, as you can take on a friend in some pretty crazy match types. We really enjoyed this title and look forward to a sequel. Yes, the old saying is true, small in stature, big on fun. Now it's time to take aim at Cybernet's top 10 first-person shooter titles. At number 10, bad guys on the most wanted list can never escape from Mace Griffin Bounty Hunter for the GameCube, Xbox, and PS2. While more story-driven than its tournament-based counterpart, our number 9, Unreal 2 The Awakening, still gives us plenty of action on the PC. At number 8, as the first first-person shooter in the Resident Evil universe, Dead Aim has our PS2 firmly in its sights. Being one of our favorite PC games, we were overjoyed to see Soldier of Fortune 2 Double Helix make an appearance on the Xbox at 7. Mr. Clancy does it again with the covert ops action and chilling suspense of Rainbow Six 3 Raven Shield on the PC at 6. At number 5, no Stormtrooper is safe as we charge through the ranks with Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast on the PC. With no lack of transportation, we're taking over the land, sea, and air on our PC with Battlefield 1942, The Road to Rome at 4. As one of the greatest squad-based titles of all time, our Xbox is humming with Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Island Thunder at 3. At number 2, proving that girls know a thing or two about firearms, Samus Aran takes control in Metroid Prime for the GameCube. But it's return to Castle Wolfenstein Tides of War taking out the competition as our first-person shooter number 1. Welcome to the year 1588. But this isn't the Renaissance era of our world. Rather, this is an alternate history where magical energy and powerful spirits rule the land. Join us now for a visit to a different Earth altogether in Lionheart Legacy of the Crusader for the PC. Taking a page out of the role-playing game's handbook, this game allows you to create a character by choosing between 4 different player races. You'll then develop your strengths and abilities by winning fights and interacting with other characters. This will allow you to upgrade weapons and clothing, which will come in handy for the mini battles ahead. There are a grand total of 80 levels to explore and survive. These range from pure story areas to over-the-top combat challenges. As a twist on the fantasy RPG genre, though, the developers have taken the 16th century and turned it upside down. So alongside Leonardo da Vinci's ingenious creations, you'll encounter supernatural powers and bizarre creatures. Although side quests are abundant, the majority of the action has your character moving through various enemy-infested areas, cutting down countless forgettable foes. Unfortunately, even with 50 enemies to fight and over 30 spells to unleash, the combat gets repetitive all too quickly. There are many enjoyable attributes to Lionheart, but it looks and feels outdated. The difficulty is uneven and the backgrounds are dark and static. Plus, the overall design is rather plain, and the jerky character movements made the combat scenarios very frustrating. Although we'd like to praise Lionheart Legacy of the Crusader for trying something different, this is not a world we're anxious to return to. Despite the unusual alternate history setting, this is an extremely average RPG adventure. Now, if we could just get these dogs to behave. We've already given you the ability to choose from all the cars in the arcade mode when playing Midnight Club 2 on the PS2. Now, Cybernet wants you to race all around the world, so grab a pen and jot down this cheat. At the cheat codes menu, enter in Globetrotter. That's capital G, L, O, B, E, T, R, O, T, T, E, and R. Now you can take a trip to Hollywood and race past that famous sign, or how about under a certain tower in Paris? And if that doesn't excite you, then we're sure driving anywhere in the bustling city of Tokyo will have you thrilled. So, enjoy. Coming up, fight monsters with the Chaos Legion, watch out for aliens and predators, and step into the role of Chaser. We begin this half with a vengeance. When it comes to fast-paced, sword-swinging combat, most people think of the Devil May Cry series. But while that series has you fighting an almost endless onslaught of monsters, this game actually has you teaming up with them. Get ready for a totally new kind of monster mash with Chaos Legion for the PS2. You play as Sieg Warheat, a swordsman who must stop the evil Victor Delacroix. This madman plans on merging the spiritual planes with the real world in order to resurrect his dead love. But with wave after wave of gruesome foes out to get him, it won't be easy for our hero. Luckily, he has a little trick up his sleeve. When Sieg gets into trouble, he has the uncanny ability to summon aid from 7 different legions of creatures. Each group has their own means of destruction, so it will take some strategy on the player's part to find the best squad of creatures for the given task. The combat system is almost identical to Devil May Cry, but with Sieg's special ability, it means many more characters can be seen on screen at once. Unfortunately, this admittedly cool feature comes at the expense of the game's level design, which is quite bland. A major flaw for a game that cries out for some atmospheric background details. The action itself quickly grows tiresome. With only about 2 or 3 different moves, you would never guess that Sieg is the professional swordsman he claims to be. And while the ability to call in the creature cavalry is cool, its novelty quickly fades. While Chaos Legion has an interesting concept, it never succeeds at being anything but a generic hack-and-slash title. And, like a lot of games of this type, it has too few surprises to sustain interest beyond the first couple of levels. Too bad Sieg couldn't call on some creatures to help the developers make a more entertaining game. You desperately want to inherit Ma Jackson's truck hauling business in Big Mother Truckers on the Xbox, but your pesky siblings keep getting in the way. So when all else fails, cheat. Hey, businessmen are shrewd, so grab a pen and jot down this tactic. At the cheat menu, type in lazy player as one word. That's L-A-Z-Y-P-L-A-Y-E-and-R. Get the jump on your brothers and sisters because you've just unlocked all the levels in this game. That's right, now the open road is no longer your biggest obstacle. We hope you enjoy this tip and keep watching Cybernet for more awesome cheats. Ever since the films Alien and Predator scared viewers at the cinema, fans have longed to see these two species square off. And while it's yet to happen in a movie, this scenario has been explored in a few video games. But previous first-person shooting and brawling titles never really captured all the nuances that made both films instant classics. That's about to change with Aliens vs. Predator Extinction, a rather bold endeavor on the Xbox and PlayStation 2. What had us worried, at least initially, was that Extinction is a real-time strategy title on a console. This has been problematic in the past due to the limitations of a console controller compared to a PC keyboard and mouse configuration. But to our surprise and delight, it successfully incorporates all the necessary functions into a controller scheme. For example, one analog stick lets you move through the entire map, while the other one performs more intricate movements. But while figuring out just how to make it all work on consoles is an astonishing feat, the developers at EA have also beautifully brought each species to life. You begin by choosing one of the 3 races, aliens, predators, or marines, and set out on a 7-mission group-specific campaign. The novel approach to accumulating resources is one of this game's biggest achievements, and it's this aspect that truly captures the essence of the film. For example, if you're playing as the aliens, your queen must lay eggs. But determining what type of alien they'll eventually become depends upon what unlucky victim the space huggers latch onto. For the predators, however, points are earned from successfully hunting their enemies and collecting their skulls. Other cool features include recognizable elements from the films, like the famous power loader used at the end of Aliens. Only here, it's been updated with devastating weaponry. Sadly, with no online multiplayer available, this title lacks replayability, which is extremely regrettable because the core of this game is phenomenal. We think that with just a few minor additions, Aliens vs. Predator Extinction could have been as classic as the beloved films. Next up, it's the meanest and greenest superhero ever to step onto a console. It's the Incredible Hulk leaping his way to the PC and all 3 consoles. Our Game of the Week. The Hulk was originally hatched from the fertile imaginations of Marvel Comics mastermind Stan Lee and his artistic partner Jack Kirby way back in 1962. Since then, fans have been treated to countless comic books, TV shows, and cartoons featuring their favorite Emerald Giant. And lately, he's been everywhere thanks to a new film and a game.
So that he can become the one. Jet Li's the one. Tomorrow at 8 on Sky Movies.
David Beckham has signed for Real Madrid.
Russian billionaire Roman Abramovich.
Harry Kewell has completed his move to Liverpool.
Bobby Robson has told Sky Sports News that
British #1 Tim Henman won his
both
first
Arsene
tournament.
Wenger and Sir Alex Ferguson have fired.
has resigned as England captain.
Lennox Lewis has told Sky Sports News.
So who'll be champions? Vote with the red button.
Keep emails coming in, you to us at skysports.com.
Arsenal captain Patrick Vieira.
Well, we'll be going live to that
Sky
David
Sports News.